Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Talk a little heavyweight, y'all. And in the heavyweight division, we see the people talking about, hey, can Tyson Fury and your boy Anthony Joshua have this fight, right? And everybody seems to want that fight. You hear even Joshua, he's more animated wanting to fight Fury. You hear Eddie Hearn, the promoter of Anthony Joshua, saying, "Hey, we know we both even have to fight Pulev. We can probably get this thing done in December." People don't know what Wilder's going to do when that fight can happen. Forgetting that it's Corona, and they'd probably rather have it in front of a crowd, but who knows? But I'm seeing the boxing world and especially Anthony Joshua wanting this Tyson Fury fight more than he did before. And what I'm going to say here is simple. I think the world, even Mike Tyson came out and said, "Hey, you guys stop with these shenanigans," and he said something else, not shenanigans, and just go on and fight. Talking about Anthony Joshua Fury. But what you're hearing is that fight, right? What you're not hearing is that we want undisputed. There's a difference there because Deontay Wilder was trying to fight Anthony Joshua, and we weren't really wanting undisputed. We were having, difficulties getting that fight, even though Wilder was trying very hard and his team. There was a lot of lying going on, a lot of, hey, we got to fight mandatories. Mandatories. Remember Povetkin? They threw him in there right quick, like he had to fight Povetkin. Now I don't want to go into it all, but we damn sure know that he didn't have to fight Povetkin. They put him in there as a mandatory, right? And now we're saying basically, hey, if I don't have to, I won't have to fight Pulev, right? We can get this fight in December if Deontay Wilder doesn't do that. My point is this. What I would rather hear, especially from Anthony Joshua, is this. I don't give a damn who wins between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. As soon as that fight is over, I'm knocking either one of them's head off. There's a difference there. I want to be undisputed. I don't care, right? And they would probably England would believe him because I wouldn't personally. Because if you wanted to be undisputed, you could have been 2 or 3 years ago, just fighting Deontay Wilder. We're one fight from it, and the other guy was trying everything in his power to get it done. And at that time, it was a whole kind of things going on. The 50 million, we know about that. What you offer Deontay Wilder, then he accepts it, and then you say, "Oh, let's bring in Povetkin real quick." And I think the WBE, somebody helped him out by putting Povetkin in there like he had to be a mandatory, things like that. But now it's not that energy. This energy is to have the Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight. It's not for undisputed. You will see if Tyson Fury gets his head knocked off by Deontay Wilder, then all of a sudden, I'm guaranteeing you, it'll be back to the mandatories, right? It'll be back to the mandatories, people who have to get fought. Right? And so that's what we have to be careful of because let me tell you, when it comes to undisputed in boxing, I tell you all the time, every time we get close, mysterious things happen. I'm telling you with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, that was very mysterious how many people didn't want to see that fight happen. Now I understand when people don't want to see their fighters get their head knocked off when you fight somebody dangerous. Right? That's what it's all about. But at the end of the day, undisputed is undisputed. And we should all be trying to get that, with all these belts all over the place. I told you in every division there's 10 belts, there's 10 champions in every division, and probably more, depending on where you stop counting belts. Right? If you stop counting that gold and silver or whatever, or global, then you might stop at 10 to 12. But if you start talking about intercontinental and all that other stuff, you might get up to about 20. So it's just a lot of champions. So when you get the opportunity to be undisputed, you want to take it, but you don't. If you saw that with Wilder and Fury, couldn't get undisputed, right? See that with Canelo and Demetrius Andrade last year, no one talked about undisputed. The WBSS tournament, when you try to get undisputed, they're about to be extinct. Can't get sponsors, right? Every time you get close, something gets in the way. The welterweight division, right? Pacquiao just fights Terrence Crawford, and boom, the winner of that fight fights the winner of Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. Then you get undisputed, wouldn't you? Pacquiao's not gonna fight Crawford though. There you have it. So we won't get undisputed there forever, right? And with Pacquiao, you can't really force him because he's a legend. So you can't say Pacquiao, well then give up the belt and let somebody else fight, which he could because he doesn't need a belt anymore. But that's not going to happen. People are not going to even ask for it. They have a problem. You got lightweight division, right? Lomachenko asked for a franchise belt so he doesn't fight Devin Haney. If he would have fought Devin Haney, then you have the champion there, and this fight with Teofimo Lopez would be undisputed. We're not going to get that either, right? So we won't get undisputed in any division, right? There's just no going to be any undisputed. No one's clamoring for one champion because see, look, if you get one champion, the shenanigans and the BS stops, and that one champion might be someone that doesn't look like you think they should look, and so therefore we will never get it, right? So that's that. That's why I'm telling you now. Let's hear when Anthony Joshua was talking about fighting Tyson Fury. Make sure you hear. Like, listen, it's not really about Tyson Fury and the biggest British fight. It's about if Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder's butt again, and he's definitely through that, then that means that me and him are as an undisputed fight. Then I want that. If not, then it'd be Deontay Wilder. Let him have the same energy from Deontay Wilder for undisputed, and then I'll shut the hell up, right, about that. But that won't happen. Now, speaking of Deontay Wilder, another thing about Deontay Wilder before the second fight with Tyson Fury is he was injured, right? By the way, you know, you don't want to say that because people are always on Deontay Wilder, but I don't give a damn, you know what I'm saying? Because people on Deontay Wilder are ignorant to me. You know, acting like you didn't see something and hating the man for ridiculous and still talking about he's nothing. And so my point is, if he's nothing, then who the hell is? Who are we watching if we don't like a guy who knocks 40 people out in a row? We keep saying those people are nothing, and it's documented that they went and done other things after he knocked them out. They went and did other good things. So I don't know what fighters, if Deontay Wilder is absolutely nothing and trash and all that old stuff, then who are we watching? Are we Canelo fans or Lomachenko fans? Are we Gennady Golovkin fans? He knocked out a lot of people that were significant, right? As soon as he stepped up, he never knocked anyone else out after they were his size, right? If they weren't junior middleweights, he wasn't knocking them out. So who are we liking if Deontay Wilder's trash? You know, with Anthony Joshua, you know, because he got knocked out himself, right? And then ran the next fight. So I don't know. Is that who we're liking because we don't like Deontay Wilder? Who? More schooled fighters that are very schooled, that don't have the record that he does? So there must be lacking something else. Yeah, so I don't really know who is so awesome if we don't think this guy is anything at all. Because that's setting the bar high for the rest of those guys. So, I mean, good luck with that. But anyway, the man was injured in that fight. He tore a bicep before the fight. We don't know to the extent. And that was Junior Fa, his sparring partner. And Junior Fa, you know, I think from New Zealand, because he's about to have a little dust up with Joseph Parker. If they can get that stuff with the gloves together, then that's a big fight in that Southern Hemisphere. That's a big little fight. And I was glad for Joseph Parker to be in the fight that's at least kind of big until he can get something else. And, you know, Junior Fall has a couple of wins over him in the amateurs, so that's a decent fight for over in that hemisphere, and that would be good. But Junior Fall said, you know, yeah, in sparring, he had to stop all that because the man had tore his bicep. He doesn't know to what extent, but that was also something. So he's injured. And ain't nobody making no excuses about that because, you know, we really don't know for sure. But let's be honest. If you play any sport for a significant amount of time, any sport, especially contact sport, you're going to go into those games or those fights with injuries. You know, just not major, obviously, but you know, nicks and bruises and things like that, and little something that's hampering or hindering, to be perfect. You're gonna do that. And these guys, when it's their livelihood and they gotta fight these fights, to feed their families, you're gonna fight injured. You can't keep calling them off, man. I gotta wait till I'm 100% because you probably will never ever be 100% again. Believe me, because I don't know when the last time I was 100% about anything. So it is what it is. So he was injured, but it just Junior Fall. Make sure that you remember something. You don't probably want to say that because now all of a sudden Junior Fall probably, I don't know what happens on social media, but he's probably not going to get some people that's going to where fans won't be all of a sudden. And he's going to like, what the hell happened there? I just told the truth about something. Nah, the truth is not really so good in the times that we're living in. It's called Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. You ain't supposed to be telling the truth or doing what the hell you're supposed to do or doing what's right. You kidding me? And people start hating you. So let's see what kind of backlash he gets for even just saying that Deontay Wilder was injured. But if you're looking at Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury and you're looking at the injury plus the other things that we know damn well went down, then yeah, the trilogy, we'll see what's happening on that trilogy. It's going to be very interesting. We'll leave it at there for right now, right? But let's see what the boxing world really wants? Is it really just Joshua versus Tyson Fury, or is it Undisputed? I know the answer to that, but you guys are going to see soon. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.